You are listening to the Drink Less Lifestyle podcast with Dr. Sherry Price, episode number 111.
Welcome to Drink Less Lifestyle, a podcast for successful women who want to change their relationship with alcohol. If you want to drink less, feel healthier, and start loving life again, you're in the right place. Please remember that the information in this podcast does not constitute medical advice. Now, here's your host, Dr. Sherry Price.
Well, hello, my beautiful friends. How are you today? I hope you are doing great. So before I dive into this podcast, I want to invite you to my upcoming masterclass that I will be hosting. It is a free masterclass, and I want to help you gain control of your drinking around the holidays. So I know the holidays are coming up, and this is a time where a lot of us go off track. We overeat, we overdrink, and we don't feel good about those decisions, especially when it comes January time and we're trying to get off all that extra weight or get a reset in our life and take a break from all of the overindulgences that we've done. And so I want to invite you to this upcoming masterclass because we all know that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, right? We want to feel good about ourselves as we start off 2023. We want to feel good about how we've navigated the holidays, how we've navigated the festivities that we'll be involved in. And I want to give you principles and real tools that will allow you to be and indulge a little, but not overindulge. And so come and join me at this masterclass, which will be held on Monday, November 14th. And I'll be hosting it at 4 p.m. Pacific time, which is 7 p.m. Eastern time. Again, that's Monday, November 14th at 4 p.m. Pacific time, which is 7 p.m. Eastern time. And when you come to this masterclass, I really want you to think about this as a gift that you are giving to yourself, because really in those 6 weeks, most of us learn to abandon ourselves and just go towards all the food, all the festivities, but then we regret those decisions. So really think about this as an opportunity to honor yourself, honor what is most important to you, and honor what you do value for you. And that still means we can participate in all the fun and festive things going on around us. So the way to sign up for this masterclass, because you need to be registered in order for the link to be sent to you, I will put that in the show notes below. I also am emailing this out to my list. So if you are on my email list, you will get this in my next newsletter. And I also announce it in my free private Facebook group, Stop the Overdrinking Habit. So any of those modalities or any of those ways you can get the information to be able to sign up and join us. It's really going to be an exciting masterclass where you can really learn some principles to execute in your life. And speaking of executing principles, you know, this month inside of Epic You, we are really upping our self-discipline. And so last week I talked about the concept of leading yourself. And when you do this, this is a form of self-discipline. And as you recall, self-discipline is just using your mind to govern your actions, to govern what your body does. So basically using your mind to govern your actions or execute the actions that you want to take that best take care of yourself. So it's like self-discipline is a form of self-care. 100%. You know what you want, you know the results you want to get, and you are executing certain actions to get there. Because the results matter to you. And listen, I want to stand for things that matter to me. We all do. And so this requires leading yourself, being the leading lady in your life, standing up for what you want, and knowing that you matter, your wants matter, these results matter. Being in control of your drinking matters on so many levels. And so I've recently run across a quote that really hit me, and I want to share it here. And I'm also going to share a modified version of this quote. So the quote comes from Norman Vincent Peale, and he says, "People become really remarkable when they start thinking that they can do things. When they believe in themselves, they have the first secret of success." Now, I really want you to let that sink in a minute, because notice where the first secret of success is. It wasn't in the action. It was believing in themselves is the first secret of success. And so I want to modify that and say, you become really remarkable when you start thinking you can do things and change. And when you believe in yourself, you have the first secret of success. And so the first part of discipline is believing in yourself, believing you can change, believing you can get the results, believing in that going after what you want matters and makes a difference and is important in your life. Now, before you can want something, you have to believe you can get it and that it exists, right? We're not going to chase unicorns if we know that they don't exist, right? So in order for us to go after something, we have to believe in it and we have to believe we can get it. And if you've seen that somebody else has achieved what you want, you know then that it's possible to have it. You know that this exists, it's possible, and it's available to you. So think about it. This is the first step on your way to success. Knowing that it is possible is part one, but then believing in yourself that you can achieve it. And what would that look like for you to believe in yourself? I mean, you go all in believing you can get this result. Now, for some of you, that may be to stop over drinking or to control your drinking or never to have alcohol again. And what would that look like if you believed you can get there? If you believed in yourself, because it was so important and life-changing to get this result. And that's why I love to share with you and remind you that I've taken my life from someone who was so out of control with her drinking, didn't know why I was doing it, and had no clue how to make it stop. I was once that woman. And the kicker is my life was overall very good. I had a great marriage, a career I loved. I loved running my company, having employees, doing all the things I was doing by flying around teaching pharmacy students to pass their board exam. I had a daughter. She was great, although we fought a lot. But things felt solid to me in my life. Yes, I overdrank, but I was never late for work because of my overdrinking. I never got a DUI because of my overdrinking. Yes, it was out of control, but it wasn't that out of control. And I want to still come back to my life was good. I wasn't thinking I was doing it to escape my life. And when it came right down to it, and if you asked me then, why am I drinking? I would have no clue. I would say things like, it just tastes good. I just want it. I need to relax. That was the basic understanding I had of my drinking at the time. That was the most in-depth knowledge I had of my drinking at the time. So I really want to clarify where I was. And all I knew at that point is I didn't like how much I drank. It was a bit over the top. I didn't want it to be a bit over the top. Now, in my medical training, right, as a pharmacist, I learned that if you have a problem with something or have an addiction, you need to stop completely. Whether that be cold turkey, taper down, whatever it is, but you can't go back or be around that substance. That's what my pharmacy school training had taught me. It's taboo, it's evil, you should change your friends. If you buy it or not, you shouldn't be around it. You can't be trusted ever again around this substance, whether it be opioids, cigarettes, porn, gambling, alcohol, whatever. And to get it out of your life at all costs, right? That's the premise and that's the dogma I had learned. And what was crazy is I didn't want any of that. It didn't feel good to me. I just wanted a different relationship with alcohol. And I wanted to have it occasionally here and there. I didn't want to write it off completely. And so I now have achieved that. So now that I know I've achieved it, you know that it's possible. You know that it's possible to get there for you. And I know many people want to be there, which is why I continue to do this podcast and teach you these tools and talk about this so that you can say yes to your calling to get there. And for you to build the belief in yourself, because that's the first step of success. And when you do that, you don't only do that around drinking, you start to see how you aren't showing up in other ways. Like how I mention a lot, how I wasn't showing up as the mother I wanted to be for my daughter. And I didn't know I wasn't doing that. So what you learn on this process begins to empower and change your life in many other aspects and in many other areas. And now that I've done this, and now that I see how to continue to do this process in other areas of my life, I have more freedom, which means I have more self-control and self-discipline. And now I don't worry about certain things I used to be consumed about worrying about, like my health, like my liver enzymes, like this drinking issue. Like, wow, what if one day I go out and I overdrink and get behind a car or the wheel of a car, and that could be disastrous for me and for others. Like, wow, that could be possible if I don't change how I'm behaving around alcohol. And this is why I want to do the masterclass, right? Because I know I will have my drinking dialed in for the holidays. It doesn't concern me now. That to me is mental and emotional freedom because I won't overdo it. I now trust myself. And it came from believing that I could get there. I knew what I wanted and I followed that want. I wanted to be a woman who can take it or leave it. I wanted to be a normal drinker. And now that I am, it's proof that you can do this too, because it's totally possible. And now that I've done it, I go back and I look at all the medical literature that I hadn't been taught in pharmacy school, all the medical literature and all the new science that has come out since I've graduated, because let's be honest, it's been decades since I've graduated pharmacy school. And the new research coming out that says you don't have to be totally abstinent, particularly if you fall into gray area drinking, which most people do. Over 90% of people who excessively drink or overdrink are considered gray area drinkers. But I didn't know those statistics. I didn't know that research. I didn't know those studies. I didn't even look at what the authorities said in the area of alcohol addiction because I didn't even see myself as an addict. And if you want to believe that it's possible and you want to see all of this data, go look for it. Build the belief, because you're building the belief that you can get it, because it's possible. And so now that you know it's possible, there's the next question. Now what? Now what are you going to do with this information? Knowing that it's possible and believing in yourself, you start to look for ways to make it work and to make it happen. You start taking action. You start doing the research. You start exploring your options. You use your time, your money, and your attention to make it happen. You use all of your resources if this is something you want. That's what I did because I wanted the result. And notice it comes from believing in yourself as the first step. And here's the thing. When you don't believe in yourself, you can get a coach who believes in you. And that's what I needed, that extra support, because I doubted myself many a times. Because I was going on what my past had told me, which is, okay, last time you did this, it didn't work. Last time you took a break from alcohol for a few days or during the week, you just splurged on the weekend. So I needed somebody who would have that belief in me to build my own belief. And when I borrowed her belief, guess what happened to my belief? It became bigger. It became more. It became larger. And that's what I needed to learn. That was a skill I needed to learn on the way to believing fully in myself, because I wasn't there in the beginning. And that's okay, right? You just need to have that mustard seed of belief. And that's what starts getting you going in the direction towards the goal you want. Think about years ago, decades ago, where we didn't know we can run a mile in under 4 minutes. And then in 1954, Roger Bannister ran a mile in under 4 minutes. He broke the record. Everybody was astonished. Oh my gosh, somebody can run a mile in under 4 minutes? And then not even 2 months later, the next person runs a sub 4 minute mile. What? Because now they see it is possible And so now people start training to go, oh, I could get that now too. I see that it's possible. And since 1954, when that happened, we've had over 1,000 people run a sub 4-minute mile. Once you know that something is possible and you see it out there that it is possible, the next step is believing you can attain it. And sometimes we wait for somebody else to go first. Think about Elon Musk. He believes he's going to get to Mars. And because he believes that and he believes in himself, he's solved already a few critical issues needed for life on Mars. He's already solved for some of those. Because to live on Mars, you have to sustain life on Mars. And so he's solving for that. And it's his belief that keeps him going. Notice where your belief is. Because belief is what you need to keep going towards your goals. That is part of the self-discipline that we're talking about inside Epic You. Michael Jordan had it. Kobe Bryant had it. Many other people have it on their way to achieving their goals. And even one of my favorite TV series, Ted Lasso, right? He's got a sign in his locker room that says believe. And why? Because we know it works. You got to believe. Gosh, I love that show. I can't wait for season 3 to come out. So where are you with you? Are you believing in yourself? Are you figuring it out? Are you spending your resources to understand, to get that result? So you can become the woman or the man, if you're listening as a man, to get to that result that you want. Are you believing in you? There's a result that I want in my life right now, and I've just hired a person to help me get there. I know I have belief in me, but I also need the tools to get there, to go where I want to go, because I want that new result. And what I've learned in this process is to honor what I want and look for ways to get it. I don't ignore it. When you ignore it, you cause your own pain, suffering, agony, mental anguish, and you just wallow. You wallow on the couch saying, why? And I rather say, where are we going and why not? And who can help get me there? And whenever I ignore my desires in my soul, I become haunted by them. I can't stop thinking about what I really want. And I talked about how that happened to me in the past about launching this podcast. I got woken up at night with that desire burning and going, oh my gosh, if I die and never launch this podcast, that would be a disgrace. That would be a disservice. I cannot live another day not taking action, even if it's small, tiny steps, but I need to take action towards launching this podcast. Because the further and the longer I denied it and ignored it, the more I lived in pain and agony and mental anguish around it. Because your body speaks to you. Your body tells you clearly what it wants. Your body will signal, hey, that was too much alcohol last night. Clean it up, lady. Right? And so then people say, well, what about fear? Yeah, I had fear. Yes, you will have fear. Do not wait for the absence of fear to take action. You'll be waiting your entire life if so. It's not about the fear. It's about where you're going and what you want and the result. And anytime you up-level your life, anytime you elevate your life, there will be fear. Anytime you want something new or different or want a change, there will be fear. There is fear when you change from elementary school to middle school. But our kids do it. We did it. There's fear in change, always. So that's just part of the process. You bring it with you. And I can't tell you the number of fears we talk about inside of Epic You around drinking less. So many different types of fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of missing out, fear of what other people will think of me, fear of what do I say around the holidays if I don't go for that second drink or that second plate of food, and will somebody feel offended? Fear of other people's feelings, fear of not pleasing people, fear of what other people are going to say about you, right? Of course those fears are going to be normal in the beginning. But when you believe in you, that's where you find your power. So how about you? Where are you at? Do you wake up in the middle of the night knowing that you have to get control of this drinking because it's eating at your soul, your life, your energy? It haunts you in your mind. It's in your subconscious and your conscious. Do you wake up and your body tells you, hey, girl, that was too much last night. This doesn't feel good. Can we clean this up, please? Or maybe you get mad at others because they tell you your drinking is too much. The people that love you, the people that live with you, the people that care about you, the people that tell you because they want what's best for you. And when you honor you and what you want and what your body wants and what your soul is telling you, hey, I want to drink less, honor that. Believe in yourself. Because that inner voice, that intuition, they know something deeply about you. That voice knows where you're not living in an alignment with what you are here to do and what you want to accomplish. And make it easy on yourself. Start believing in yourself. That makes the whole process so much easier. Guarantee it. And when you believe in yourself, you start taking and looking for the next action to take. Go there now, in your mind. What does that look like? What does it look like when you believe in yourself? What does it look like to become that woman who doesn't need alcohol, who doesn't crave it, who it could be a witching hour and it's no longer a witching hour, it's just 5 o'clock? Really push your mind. What if you're a woman who didn't give a damn about alcohol? You didn't care if it was at a party or not. You didn't care if it was part of a Friday night or not. You could be around it and just be just as having absolutely a great time without it. You're having tons of fun. That's when you feel free. That's when you feel full of life, full of energy, and amazing because you are just showing up as you and who you are. And that, my friends, is amazing. Do you know that life is not about what's in your glass? Do you know how freeing that is to be like, yeah, I have a glass. I don't know what's in it. Water? Yes. Lovely. Delightful. Love it. Right? It's not about what's in your glass. Life's about what's in your heart. Life's about what's in your soul. Are you honoring that? Because when you honor that, that's when your life is on fire. That's when your life is amazing. And it fuels you to get more results in your life. And then here's what happens. The beauty of it all is you change because you believed in you, even if you had to borrow the belief from a coach or someone else in the beginning. It kind of reminds me of that children's classic book, The Little Engine That Could, when he says, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. And what do we know at the end of that book? That a little engine, he could, by changing his thoughts and believing in himself, right? I think I can, I think I can. And I want you to think about that for you. Now, as I wrap up this episode, I really want to read to you again the modified quote that I started this podcast off with. I want this quote to linger for you as a gift from your soul. You become really remarkable when you start thinking you can do things and change. When you believe in yourself, you have the first secret of success. If this quote resonates with you, write it down. Carry it with you. Imprint it in your mind. This also goes along with one of the favorite questions that I like to ask of myself and that I shared with the ladies inside of Epic You. And that question is, how much longer are you going to wait to demand the best of yourself? Yes, how much longer, my friends, are you going to wait? Many people are going to use these upcoming weeks as the holiday season. We let our guard down. We don't control our thinking. We get sucked up in all the festivities, and we let our self-discipline go by the wayside. But what if you can use this time to be the opposite of that? What if you can set yourself up for success so that you're even more excited to carry out and welcome in 2023? What if you believed in yourself today, now, to make these changes? So now I'll leave you to ponder this for yourself, my friends. Give yourself the gift of believing in yourself this holiday season. All right, my beautiful friends, love you all so much, and I will see you next week. If you want to change your relationship with alcohol and with yourself, then come check out Epic You. It's where you get individualized help mastering the tools so you can become a woman who can take it or leave it and be in control around alcohol in any situation. Epic You is the place for women who want to be healthy, confident, and empowered to accomplish their goals and live their best life. Come join us over at epicu.com/EpicU. That's epicu.com/EPICYOU. I can't wait to see you there.